breaking news coming in of how a stampede-like situation has arisen at Vijay's campaign in Karur. In fact, we are learning of how some people fainted. Those were workers who were taken in ambulances. Vijay requested his cadres and fans to make way for the ambulance. So much so that a 9-year-old girl has also gone missing as per details coming in. Vijay has urged cadres to find her. Let me bring in Pramod Madhav to get further details of how the situation arose in the first place. Why a stampede-like situation, and what is the latest you're learning? How many fainted? How many are in a critical condition, taken to hospitals? And more about that 9-year-old. What do we know?
Suisha, this is actually shocking and absolutely something that could have been brought under control, because we got information that more than 20 people fainted after standing for several hours for Vijay to come over. In fact, this should have happened long ago, but we were so lucky that it did not happen in Trichy, Ariglur, Perambalur, or any other location, because people come and stand there for several hours just to see Vijay, and there was absolutely zero crowd management. And unfortunately, because of that, we have seen a kind of what was expected long time back has occurred today. Suisha, 20 people, more than 20 have been admitted, and midway of the speech also, Vijay was interrupted as he was requesting the carers and fans to make way for the ambulance, but even the ambulance could not move that faster, and a 9-year-old girl called Ashmita was also missing, which was informed to Vijay by the party leader Adav Arjuna, and post which Vijay also made a call from his campaign vehicle requesting his fans and carers to actually help in finding the girl. But this is actually really something that could have been avoided had he gone ahead and followed the rules that was imposed by the police and managed the crowd properly, Suisha.
Pramod, continue talking to us, because this is extremely concerning. In fact, the DMK has also raised this in the past, especially with regards to the complaints that TVK had raised, saying that they were not allowed permission by the cops, and they had also made that a political point. But organization of these campaigns that are most important, and the safety of people, that should never be at stake.
It definitely is, Suisha. In fact, there is a difference between you holding a conference and a campaign like this, because no matter how much bigger, larger lane you keep, the crowd for base depend on the leader that actually overflows. And Vijay, this is not the first time. Anywhere he goes, there is a mass crowd that comes for him, which means there is a set of rules that people have to follow. In fact, the police actually give earlier itself how many people asked if they can come over there, can be comfortable, and what kind of medical treatment arrangements are done. But since terrible, like I said earlier, it was not followed, and we just cannot blame neither the police or the Vijay team, because it is the general public who are supposed to follow this as well. In fact, we were caught in a stampede situation back in when we were in Trichy, and luckily we were able to escape from that time. And there was actually a woman, we actually held on to her to make sure that she does not faint, because the moment you faint, the crowd actually does not know that who's underneath you or such, and there is absolutely no space for you to breathe as well. So we were in one situation at Trichy like that, but now we are seeing that an unfortunate situation has occurred in Karur right now. 20 people, more than that, have been taken to the hospital as we see, and the situation seems to be extremely grave. In fact, it is the high time, because earlier the Madras High Court also intervened, and the court very clearly said, when Vijay's team went over there saying that permissions are not being provided, that the court actually, Madras High Court judge clearly stated that the onus actually falls on the Neta and the party, which actually goes ahead with such kind of program, because they should know what kind of crowd management could be done and what could be saved and such. But right now it looks like they were only claiming that the Tamil Nadu government or the police were not giving permission, but we know right now why they were not giving permission for certain things, because earlier Vijay claimed that if he's in one particular spot, the power was cut. There was a reason behind it, because the carers were standing very close to high tension wires, and what happened, immediately death and such. But that was stopped. But unfortunately today, it looks like the situation has turned extremely grave in Karur, Suisha.
Very unfortunate, Pramod, and really wanting to understand from you firstly on due norms laid down by the cops. Were they followed by Vijay's team? Secondly, in terms of these 20 people who fainted, is Vijay's team aiding these people also at the hospital to ensure their safety?
So, Suisha, right now ambulances are flying back to the Karur General Hospital, where the people are being taken one after the other. But the problem for the ambulance is that they have to wade through the crowd, and the precious moments was missed over there. In fact, you see, the unfortunate thing here, which I have to openly say, is that they were standing there for hours. They were not just standing half an hour before coming over there. In fact, when we went to Trichy, we reached the spot by 8 o'clock, and by the time Vijay reached the spot, it was 3 p.m. And that's the reason police actually very clearly mentioned that you should not have a kind of like a road show, or you should not have certain number of vehicles in front of you and back of you, just to make sure that the people, this kind of situation can be blocked and stopped. But unfortunately, until now, we saw that it was not followed, and only after certain issue, the police were going ahead and filing complaints. But this is extremely sad, and everybody needs to take the blame on it, because on one end, police did give the conditions, but what did they do after that? They should have also made sure that those conditions were properly followed, or made sure that they would have approached the legal team and making sure that this thing does not happen. But it looks like, unfortunately, we are going to have bad news for the day from Karur, from Vijay's campaign, Surisha.
But the other point also is, Pramod, that if such incidents have occurred in the past, and thankfully nobody was hurt or it reached a stage where somebody had to be taken to hospital, it should have been a red flag right then. Why is it that it has to come to somebody's life at stake and then, cognizance is paid to it? Was Vijay's team fully aware of what had happened in the past, and to ensure that such sort of incidents do not take place in the future?
So, you're absolutely right about this particular thing right now, because, we have rules and regulations, we have police teams, we have everything to follow, but unfortunately, nobody is following it, and we have to blame the crowd also. Everybody is supposed to maintain that particular distance and maintain the particular space over there, but it looks like, they did not follow it, and Vijay, as a leader, he also has a responsibility. He should have told them, you can be only here, or should have at least given the instructions to the district officials to make sure that there is a proper passageway, proper water, proper ambulances, everything. And earlier also, Vijay's team has very clearly mentioned they have requested women with children, young children, pregnant women, and senior citizens, and people with ailments not to come for such programs. But it's unfortunate that many do not listen. And like I told you earlier, when we were caught up in a stampede-like situation, it was extremely difficult for us to stand there and breathe. But even after that, the crowd was only swelling. So that is one point where the police could have actually stopped the crowd from entering the place, and with one particular area they could have stopped. But it looks like the crowd was allowed to gather over there, and this has led to an unfortunate now, Surisha.
Pramod, fact is that accountability has to start right from here. Vijay is an aspiring politician looking to lead the state of Tamil Nadu, and if such incidents have been happening that have been rather risky in nature, Vijay's team and he himself should have taken cognizance of the fact that such a situation does not arise. Today it has come to a stampede, 20 people fainted, they're being taken to the hospital. Do give us details of what you're picking up from the hospital, whether they're okay. Thankfully and hopefully there shouldn't be any casualties.
So, Isha, like I told you earlier, it looks like we are going to have some kind of bad news from the particular Karur area, because we got information that nearly more than 20 people had fainted, and nearly 4 of them are extremely critical. The medical team is trying to try to save them and such, but we are actually getting extremely painful visuals from the spot, and that's the reason we need to wait and watch what is happening over there, Isha.
Oh yes, Pramod, and keeping a very close eye. In fact, we are also trying to get some political voices on this, especially from the TVK, to understand how they are looking at this entire situation. And most importantly, God forbid, if there is an untoward news that comes in, this will give further political fodder to all his opponents, including the DMK, AIDMK and the BJP. All right, not too sure if Pramod is still connected with us on the phone line, and we'll try and reconnect that line with him. But it is hanging in the balance, as there could be unfortunate news, as Pramod is reporting at this point. At the moment, there are no casualties. So at the moment, the confirmation that has come in is that 20 people were taken to the hospital because they fainted. And it was a stampede-like situation that occurred at Vijay's Karur rally. Mr. Syed from DMK is with us on the phone line. Good evening to you, Mr. Syed. Unfortunate news coming in of a stampede-like situation at Vijay's rally. And unfortunately, a 9-year-old girl is missing. 20 people fainted. They had to be taken to the hospital. We are hoping there are no casualties, but not looking good.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that things like this are happening, and we hope and pray that the people who are admitted in the hospital, they recover very quickly, very soon, and nothing untoward happens to anybody out there. Now, see, the government, when it tries to stop giving permission, anticipating such things, things are being politicized. They say that the DMK is scared of Vijay. That is not the fact. As a government and as an administration, it is the responsibility of the government of the day to ensure the safety and the security of the citizens. It is in this aspect that after getting a signature undersigned by the organizers of the event, that they will take adequate measures as instructed by the administration. Despite that, what we have seen is the last three times this is happening. They are violating their own affidavit, their own commitment that they give to the administration. I think that should stop at the first place. And my advice to Vijay is, this is what will happen if you come once in a week and you try to consolidate to the crowd at one point. As politician, it is your responsibility to meet the people daily. If this rally has been, this roadshow happens every day, I don't think this kind of stampede-like situation will arise. People will see a star from their own place. Your stardom cannot be used for the cost of the lives and putting the risk of the lives of the citizens.
Oh yes, absolutely. And we also try and get more reactions from the TVK, because the unfortunate part is that such a situation has occurred in the past campaigns too. But if that was not paid heed to and this situation still arose, then the TVK needs to be accountable, especially Mr. Vijay. I want to thank you for speaking to us this evening as we shift our focus at the moment.